Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Getting Wild and Flying High, free NHL and MLB picks. I am Terry, ready to break down the Monday slate. Um, Quick look back at the weekend. It was a pretty good weekend for me. I've had three profitable days in a row up on the site on picks and parlays, and the spreadsheet has been working for me. I don't know if it's just going more in depth or if it's good luck or whatever, but player props have been hitting well over the weekend. I cashed a nine player prop parlay yesterday. Of course, using all the players that I have listed in the spreadsheet. I had eight of the nine players, and all I needed was Jack Eichel to get a point in the NHL game. And the player I despise the most on the Dallas Stars, Ryan Suter, made a horrible turnover right to Jack Eichel, which led to cashing the 9 game parlay. I got my draw, and then I also got Vegas money line and overtime. So thank you, Ryan Suter, for that. Great way to end the weekend. And now it's a new week, and we are going to jump right into it here. Start with the NHL and the Carolina Hurricanes and the Florida Panthers. Originally, I was going to be off this series. I didn't really have too much of a feeling about this series. Good day, Terry. Good day, Captain Bry. Um, but after game one, um, I was originally going to stay off most of the series. But after game one, Florida just has something about them. When you watch them, they just have this uh, mojo. I think is the right word. I don't know how to describe it, but they just look like a team of destiny. I don't really know how to describe it other than that. They just look like um, they're heading to the Cup Finals. So I took them in game two, and I took the draw in game two. All four NHL playoff games in the conference finals have gone to overtime. I have cashed two of the four draws, and I am sticking with it here. I'm on the draw today. I'm on the draw again tomorrow. Plus 320 for the draw in this game today. I know they've already gone to overtime twice. Will they go to overtime again? Uh, I've already cashed two plus 340 bets. I'm going to continue on with it the way this playoffs has been going. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give me the draw and give me Florida Panthers on the money line here. 7-2 in their last 9 against Carolina. Um, they just have this mojo about them. Carolina has the penalty kill advantage by far. Florida has a slight power play advantage here. Carolina advantage in goals for, goals against, but they just Florida just is a team of destiny. Matthew Tkachuk goal. No, I don't think he is going to score the overtime winner for the third game in a row. I think that would be some kind of history if that happened. But he's shooting the puck a lot right now for Florida, so I will take him to score plus 158 at FanDuel. So Tkachuk goal, the draw, and Florida Panthers on the money line. I'm gonna back them. Woohoo! First to smash like. Thank you, Captain Bry. Appreciate it. Everybody hit the like button. But yeah, hockey's slowing down, but it's been going well for me. So I'm going to continue here with it. When it comes to Carolina props, nobody really stands out for me. And I don't really like a lot of Florida props either because this could be a very low scoring game. So when it comes to the total, I would lean with the under. But I'm already on the draw and on Florida, so I'll stick with that here. But we'll move over to MLB, where things have been going pretty well when it comes to, especially in the player props here. For me, we'll start here with this first game: White Sox and the Cleveland Guardians. White Sox have not announced a pitcher. At least, okay, now they finally did. It'll be Lambert, Jimmy Lambert, who goes basically an inning. So bullpen day for the White Sox. Nobody on Cleveland. really hits that well. Cleveland is um, bottom 5 in both categories against lefties and righties. Uh, so nobody on Cleveland I could find that I really wanted to take to get a hit. Yoan Moncada, 350 last 7 days, 302 against righties, 667 against Gaddis. Berger smashing the ball as well, 409 last 7 days, 271 against righties. And Yasmani Grandal, 400 last 7 days, 311 against righties, and he's 1 for 2 against Gaddis. So that's where I would go with the White Sox players. Nobody for Cleveland really sticks out. Side or total in this game. Neither of these teams are teams that I want to back uh, on the money line. The way they're playing, I don't trust either of these teams, so I'll just stick with the White Sox props here in this one. Um, Next up, Texas Rangers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Terry, what is wrong with our Blue Jays? Sad face. I will be getting there in just a second, and I have positive feelings about today's game, but we'll get there in just a second. Texas Rangers, Pittsburgh Pirates. Dunning on the mound here for the Rangers. Corey Seager, his return to this lineup has made a already really, really strong offense that much stronger. Texas is a team that I'm going to be backing. I believe in this team. Uh, they have strong offense. They have pitchers as well, especially Dane Dunning here, who's been consistent in his starts this year. Texas 4th OPS against righties. Pittsburgh is 19th. Ortiz lost both of his starts so far this year. I took Texas money line at minus 132, which is just around my right around my cutoff point. I don't really like going past minus 135, but I took it here because this Texas team is by far better. Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Nathaniel Lowe, all smashing the ball last 7 days. And of course, Seager and Semien have been my go-tos. And Seager coming back is very huge for this Texas team. I wouldn't talk anybody off Texas on the run line as well, plus money. I just took the money line here in this one. But next up, as Turner was talking about, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. Bassett against Kelly in this one. Toronto has looked awful. And you know what? It's rare for me to be happy to see Baltimore get a home run against the Jays. I did have the over in game 2. So really mixed feelings there when it came to that game. But I didn't back Toronto during that stretch against Baltimore. But I am going to back them here against Tampa Bay. And I know that sounds crazy. The best team in baseball. Tampa Bay's 5-5 in their last 10. So they are cooling off here a bit. And they're facing Chris Bassett, who has gone 7, 9, and 7 innings over his last 3 starts, has not given up a run, has not given up a home run, 2 to 4 walks, 5 to 8 strikeouts. He has been consistent, elite. He's been elite over his last 3 starts. Of course, now he gets to face the number one team, a number one offense, OPS against righties. So that will be a little bit of a test for him. Toronto's 4-1 in their last 5 against Tampa Bay, plus money for the Jays. This is when I'm going to go after them. I'm not taking them when they're minus 180 against Baltimore. That's just not priced correctly. Here on the road as a dog, I think heading out on the road is going to be big for this team. And there are a lot of Blue Jays fans that are panicking. I'm not one of them. This team is going through a stretch where they're facing top teams every series for a while. And yes, they're going through a rough stretch, but I think they get a win here. Kind of like when they beat Garrett Cole against the Yankees. They couldn't beat the weaker pitchers, but then they faced the ace and they beat him. I think that happens here against Tampa Bay. Start the series off with a win with Chris Bassett on the mound. Player props, Danny Jansen, 286 last 7 days, only 207 against righties on the year, but he's 2 for 3 against Kelly. He's hitting the ball well. If you're looking for someone for a home run, it would be Danny Jansen. But I'm going to Kevin Kiermaier, 350 the last 7 days, 333 against righties. He is 0 for 3 against Kelly, but this is his return to Tampa Bay, and Kiermaier, uh, I can see him getting at least a hit, and that's all I'll need in my player hit parlays. Jansen and Kiermaier for Tampa Bay, Diaz and Josh Lowe. It's rare that you get top two players on a team. Uh, so Yandy Diaz, Josh Lowe are the top two hitters against right-handed pitchers, and they're also the top two players last 7 days. So those are the two guys to watch out for: Diaz and Josh Lowe. I hope Chris Bassett is very, very careful with those two guys. But I'm taking them both for a hit because it's money before fandom, and I think both of them will be able to get a hit here for this one. Blue Jays money line with their ace pitching. Yes, me and Tim agree. Tim, I'm in a full fade situation tonight. I'm on the Canes and Lakers -3. Oof. Well, the Canes are going to be desperate. I am on Florida for the reasons I mentioned earlier, but Carolina is going to be desperate, and they could pull out a win. The Lakers, I'm not betting NBA, but I was very, very close to taking Denver. But that's just my opinion. Vladdy's not looked good. No, he hasn't lately. I'm either homeless tomorrow and my girlfriend leaves me, or I'm in the green buying steaks for dinner. And Tim thinks you're about to be homeless. Sorry, Grinch. I hope the Lakers win for you. But that's about it. So yeah, Toronto money line. These four players to get hits. Where I'm going in this one: Arizona and Philadelphia. Henry against Wheeler in this game. Arizona has the hitting advantage by far in this one. They are hitting righties. Fifth best OPS against righties. Philadelphia has struggled against lefties lately. 23rd overall on the season against lefties. And Wheeler has not been himself. Arizona is a huge dog at plus 195 in this one. I have not pulled the trigger on the Diamondbacks yet, but I'm very tempted. Yes, Wheeler's on the mound, but he's not been himself. 5 innings, 7 innings, 6 innings. One good game, only one earned run, but 4 earned runs in the other starts. Henry on the other side has been similar: 2 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 4 earned runs. I don't think it's that big of a pitching advantage that the Phillies should be minus 213. So most likely I'm going to be adding Arizona in some fashion. When it comes to player props, Christian Walker hasn't really been hitting well last 7 days or overall against righties, but he's 6 for 11 against Wheeler. And when Christian Walker does hit, usually it's a home run. So I would not be surprised to see him get a home run here against Wheeler. But I'm going to back him with his history against Wheeler. And Ketel Marte smashing the ball, 360 last 7 days, 272 against righties, and he's 3 for 8 against Wheeler. For the Phillies, the one guy who is hitting lefties well, Bryson Stott, 318 last 7 days, 321 against lefties. Edmundo Sosa, also 385 last 7 days, 295 against lefties. 0 for 3 against Henry, but I could see him getting a hit here in this one, if he's in the lineup, of course. Check lineups. Sure. Yes. Well, we will see. We will see what happens. I would not be surprised to see the Canes pull out a win. They're going to be desperate, but I have to continue to back this Florida team. St. Louis, Cincinnati Reds, Montgomery against Williamson here. St. Louis big favorites here. They have the hitting advantage. I'm not sure they have the pitching advantage. Montgomery can be good, but not someone I overly trust. 2-6 in the year, 4.21 ERA. Williamson has only pitched one game. He did very well in it. But St. Louis, 6th best team OPS against lefties. So this will be a test for him here. No side and player total The player props that I'm looking at, Tommy Edman, 571 the last 7 days. He is destroying the ball. 354 against lefties. Nolan Arenado, another guy who's hitting home runs like crazy. 407 the last 7 days. 306 against lefties. Oscar Mercado hasn't played a whole lot, but this year, but he's 545 the last 7 days. 800 overall against lefties, but I think that's like 5 at bats. So, um, but he has done it. Those three players smashing lefties. Big test for Williamson in this game. For Cincinnati, Nick Senzel, 136 last 7 days. So he's not hitting well the last 7 days, but that's because he doesn't hit righties at all. When he faces lefty, 452 against lefties, 667 against Montgomery and Luke Malley. 364 last 7 days, 400 against lefties, and he's 2 for 5 against Montgomery. So those are the players I'm targeting in this one. Dodgers and Braves, Stone against Morton in this one. This game here, Braves 6-2 in their last 8 at home against the Dodgers. So the Braves have definitely had the advantage against LA. Dodgers 12-12 on the road. This could be an Atlanta spot with Morton. I know the Earls have said that Morton's supposed to digress, but haven't quite seen it yet. Coming off a 6-inning, no earned runs, 1 walk, 10 strikeout performance. He has pitched really well. No cider total play for me here in this game, with the Braves being around -150 out of my price range. The Dodgers are a dog, so I don't blame anyone for taking them, but I'm passing cider total. Player props, Freddie Freeman. I continue to bet him to get a hit because he continues to get a hit. 429 the last 7 days, 352 against righties. He's 8 for 15, hitting 533 against Morton. David Peralta, 222 the last 7 days, 202 against righties. He's 7 for 13, hitting 533 against Morton. So those are the two players I will target for Dodgers. For the Braves, Ronald Acuna Jr., Matt Olson, both hitting the ball really well last 7 days, and both hit righties well in this one. San Francisco Giants, Minnesota Twins. Bullpen game for the Giants. Bailey Ober for the Twins. Again, it's kind of like the Atlanta game, where it's pretty much exactly like the Atlanta game because Minnesota is also -147 favorites. I want to back the Twins. However, they're out of my price range here. First 5 -0.5 is -110. So if I was going to back the Twins in some fashion, that's how I would do it. The Giants 8th best OPS against righties. They do hit righties well. But when looking at their lineup, there's nobody that's really hitting well last 7 days and that hits righties well, that I decided to put on the chart. Nobody really stood out for me. For Minnesota, Christian Vasquez, 308 last 7 days. Kyle Farmer, 375 the last 7 days. Farmer's been the guy I've been going to over and over again for Minnesota lately. And that's basically about it in this game. I don't have a whole lot here. Houston Astros, Milwaukee Brewers, Javier against Burns. Very close odds. I think it's like a pick 'em in this game, or at least it was. Yeah, -108 for Houston, +100 for the Brewers. Houston has struggled in Milwaukee, 5-14 in their last 19 trips to Milwaukee. However, this Houston team has won 7 games in a row, and I'm not stepping in front of them. Both pitchers have pitched really well lately, going 6 to 7 innings, giving up anywhere from 0 to 3 earned runs. Both pitchers have pitched well, and I can see why this game's a pick 'em. So that I have no real opinion side in total. guess I would lean with the under, but I'm sticking with player props, even though I do think this will probably be a lower scoring game. Jake Myers for Houston, Kyle Tucker also for Houston, and my go-to guy for Milwaukee, Owen Miller. If he's in the lineup, I'll be taking him. 435 last 7 days, 339 on the season against righties. So while he is hot, I will continue to back him here. Right, Tigers, Kansas City Royals. This is my picks and parlays exclusive play of the day. 3 consecutive winning days up on the site. You can get my play in this game in my 5-pick package up on the site. Use code MLB to get 20% off in this one. But looking here, Lorenzen against Singer. Pitching advantage for Lorenzen. However, Singer's looked pretty good his last 2 starts. He got off to a really, really rough start. Neither team hits righties whatsoever. So there's that to look at. Detroit 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between the teams. If you want my play on the side or total, up on the site. But when it comes to player props, Riley Green, 313 last 7 days, 297 overall in the season against righties. He's 3 for 7 against Singer. And then for the Kansas City Royals, Nick Prado, 250 average, but he's been hitting for me when I've taken him. So I'm not sure why his average is only 250, but he's been hitting for me. 306 on the season against righties. And Matt Duffy, 286 last 7 days, 333 against righties, over 2 against Lorenzen, but this could be his spot here in this one. Miami Marlins, Colorado Rockies here. I took a shot with the Marlins yesterday. Unfortunately, that was a loss. Now they're coming here to Colorado, and I do not believe that there is a pitcher announced for Colorado. No, to be determined here. And I don't have a side or total play because of that. I need to know who's on the mound. As you see here, I have Miami stats against lefties and righties. Who's pitching for Colorado and if he's a lefty or a righty determines a lot. Because if Miami's facing a righty, they're hitting 663, they're 25th overall. But if they're hitting a lefty, they're 9th best in baseball, hitting 787 OPS against lefties. So if Colorado's smart, they'll have a righty here. Cabrera was really good at times last year, but overall has not had a good season overall this year. No side or total play for me. Player props, Luis Arias, Xavier Edwards for Miami. And for Colorado, Harold Castro, 615 last 7 days, 296 against righties. And former Blue Jay Randall Grichuk, 333 last 7 days, 318 against righties. Those are the players I'll be targeting in this one. Boston Red Sox, Los Angeles Angels here in this one. This is going to be a good game. And I'm backing the Angels here. I'm backing the Angels. Houck has been awful for Boston. He's been a pitcher that I've looked to fade overall. 3-3 in the year, 5.48 ERA. But over his last 3 games, 6 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs. Not giving up a whole lot of homers, not a whole lot of walks either. But he's giving up hits and he's giving up runs. Both teams top 10 OPS against right-handed pitchers. Barria hasn't really gone a whole lot, anywhere from 2 to 4 innings over his last 3 starts, but he hasn't given up anything. No earned runs, no home runs, 1 walk over that stretch. So I do like Angels first 5, and I'll probably be jumping on Angels first 5 after the show as well, but I'm on the full game. I like the Angels in this spot here. Justin Turner, 429 the last 7 days, 273 against righties. He's 3 for 8 against Pereira, 375 average. And one of my favorite players that I continue to back, and I was heartbroken he wasn't in the lineup against the Twins the other day, Mickey Moniak. 375 the last 7 days, 417 overall against righties. He's been one of those guys like Owen Miller from Milwaukee. They're just these guys that continue to get hits for me when I bet them. So I will be backing Moniak if he's in the lineup. Also for the Angels, Gio Urshela, 417 the last 7 days, 280 against righties. So those will be the two I tackle here against Hauk. And I do like the LA Angels first 5 and full game in this one. Oakland Athletics, Seattle Mariners, the final game of the night. And if you look at it here, 27th OPS for Oakland against righties. Seattle, even worse, 28th overall against lefties. But I want to take the over here because Castillo, 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 5 earned runs in his last 3 starts. Muller, 5 earned runs, 6 earned runs, 5 earned runs in his last 3 starts. Both guys are giving up at least 1 home run in each start. Both guys are walking guys. I want to take the over here, but I'm not going to. Both teams do not hit righties, lefties well. If Oakland was taking a lefty here, or if they were facing a lefty, I would be on the Oakland Athletics, especially at the price that they are, plus 278. I would be looking at Oakland's way if they were facing a lefty. I know Castillo's been bad, but he's not a lefty, so I won't take Oakland. Nick Allen, 375 the last 7 days, 167 on the season against righties. I know that's bad. He's 2 for 5 against Castillo here, hitting 400. I'm not necessarily for sure going to play Nick Allen, but if there's someone for Oakland I was going to take, that's who it would be. For Seattle, Jared Kelenic, 280 last 7 days, 325 against lefties. He would be the Seattle Mariner I would take. And that is it. That is the slate. What's up, fellas? On my lunch break. Thanks, Ron. Thanks for watching. Hope everybody likes the spreadsheet. And it's been working out well for me. So going to continue with the player props and hope things continue to go well. But that's today's show. Best of luck to everybody today. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. Appreciate all the support. And we'll see you again tomorrow, same time, for another episode. Getting Wild, Flying High, free NHL and MLB picks. Best of luck, everybody.